So what are you, Audra? NTFS, is that right?
Yeah, I'm an ENTP.
Okay.
That's the function stack. That's the slightly modified function stack there. Any extroverted intuition, TI. It should be FE, but I was making a joke. Because our FE, I think, often looks a lot more like FU.
Well, some people like Eric have extremely developed FE, at least in comparison.
Some people like Eric actually care about it. Like, I feel like I can use it. I just don't care as much. When I don't have to worry about it is always the best times.
And who else is in it? When people are talking, I can't see who's who. I'm used to like pal talk where everyone takes a turn.
Let's see who we got here. We got
just fucking talk all the time and interrupt Audra just like I do.
Yeah, we should shut the fuck up.
Shut up, Ace.
Leave me to it. I was going to say pardon and then interrupt him.
Yeah, no, just interrupt. That's
the
protocol here.
But it's sort of like we can interrupt each other, but as soon as the INFJ talk, like all of us become silent.
Yeah, because whatever they have to say, they'd usually actually thought all the way out.
And it's probably more relevant than what we are saying anyway.
Probably. I've had to explain this to a couple of people, and they're like, you just talk all the time. I'm like, you can interrupt at any point. I'm really just stream of consciousness.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like if you're going to let me talk and you're not going to talk back, then I guess I will talk. My favorite is when people like first meet me and I don't talk. And they're like, you should talk more. They're like, you should, like, come at it. I just laugh. I'm like, really? I'm like, you're going to regret asking that. It's like, enjoy the silence because it doesn't ever come back around. That's only like, it's a temporary like reprieve.
But that's
that
because
only happens at once.
we are not like, we do not take offense because we know, like, between any DOMs that we consider what we're saying relevant to the discussion, and we don't want to be like mean, or we're not interrupting for the sake of being like a douche. We just think that what we're saying is really relevant, and our memory is so fucking bad that we know that if we don't hold on to this thought, it would disappear.
Well, and the best thoughts are always like you're so deep in like in your own head, and any you're so far down the rabbit hole that you don't even remember that there's that the conversation actually is existing. Like that doesn't even cross your mind. You're like, the best thoughts totally just come straight out. You're like, well, here it comes.
I see.
We love INFJs and hate SI.
I don't mind silence. It's just that I understand that if there's silence, then the people are going to leave. And that's bad. Relatively, so.
Like, as an ENTP, we don't feel the need to fill the void of silence. It's just that we have so many good thoughts that we like tend to do it. But we're not like feeling it like because we're uncomfortable with silence, because we really don't care about it.
Yeah, it's not the like FE, people aren't talking, they must not be having a good time.
I was going to say, that would require FE.
I was going to say, that would require FE. Like, no.
What's Yaket's type?
Yaket?
Yeah.
Yaket. Like he puked?
The going theory is like ENTP or what, ESFJ? Probably ENTP.
Quite the difference there.
Yeah, how can you not like...
I don't know. I see him as probably an ENTP. I can see that.
Yeah, an ESFJ would never say fuck. Not
He's
in that
probably an ENTP.
sense.
That's the general going theory. Although some people argue.
But if you haven't
I
seen
don't
any
know.
Morty and you're an ENTP, you should still see it because it's fucking hilarious.
I don't know, I hadn't seen it, and then Tiff told me about it, and I watched it. I'm like, how did I not know this existed?
I didn't hear about it until my INTP friend told me about it.
My type is fuck.
Well, I'm gonna head out for tonight. I got to work early tomorrow, so I'm
Have fun.
forcing myself to sleep. Yeah.
All right.
So fuck you guys and have a nice evening.
Hopefully you sleep. Maybe
Yeah,
sleep.
get-
Instead of just like sleep well, we're just like, just sleep.
Yeah, I'll try.
The ENTP could
Yeah.
maybe
Peace.
sleep.
Oh, I hate Swedes so much. Just joking.
Yeah, we've got a decent Scandinavian group in the room.
Demographic. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's with that? What's up with that?
I don't know.
Do they teach MBTI over there more or something?
Not that
You know what? I
know.
want to know. I want to know what the deal is with the red hair contingent in this room. Because when I first came into the room, there was 3 birds with red hair, and I'm like,
Rogers has died.
Well, if it, yeah,
Yeah, I did put some red streaks in my hair because I got my hair cut one day and then I had too much time on my hands and things like that happened.
Too much time on my hands.
thought
It's
you would have
basically
died.
you do with the ENTP. You're like, well, let's see, I don't have anything else to do. Like, make my hair red. Because that's new. And then Susan's got pink hair. And
Just
who else
naturally
was in
pink.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just naturally pink. It's an INTP thing. They can just mentally control the color of their hair if they so choose. I don't remember who else was here. Oh, I think Elsie was on cam. She has actual reddish brown hair or something.
Yeah. She was a natural strawberry blonde or something. Yeah. Mackin. Yeah, that's Scottish though. There is a natural red hair strain from Scotland, isn't there? Barbarians.
Family Scottish. Watch it.
I'm Irish. And Scottish sort of heritage.
And it is a duel to the death.
We've all got the ginger strain, and we're all savages. You know what's funny though? How closely related we are to the Swedes as well, and the all of the what do you call it? Fucking. Basically, if you England, if you go up to the top of some islands, and they've got a very Scandinavian accent,
What are those called again?
and you get
Names on the top of my head.
fucking the
It's not the Isle of Man, is it?
no, that's to the west.
Oh, Southwest, right?
Don't know, to be honest.
You live there. How do you not know?
I don't live in the Isle of Man.
I live in the Isle of Man because I am a man.
You love man. You
Which
love man.
aisle is that? Like aisle 3? I'm like the Isle of Sand.
Yeah, it's murder getting a house on there, isn't it?
You don't build more than one story very much.
Anyway, my point is that you can actually sort of trace the accent going from Scandinavia to the top of the UK to Scotland to Ireland. It seems like they're all just one group that drifted across, probably running away from something. Probably persecution by black people, and it's just all come the other way around. I mean, there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah,
Whether it was blacks or not, or the Mongols.
Yeah. Accents, I've always found accents really interesting. So one of the things I found interesting is that despite the, now that communication is more or less limitless, there isn't as much of a constraint on what you're exposed to. You can hear accents, but yet accents still persist pretty strongly. I'm like that. I always found that really interesting. I think that like the topography has a lot to do with the type of accents that develop in an area. But it's like I live on the high plains, and some people would probably have. It's very interesting because like the accent is very suitable for like hollering across long distances. Like that's my theory because of the way they cut things short and they chop it into bits, kind of roll things together.
Yeah,
and it would make sense.
That does make sense. Yeah, but there is an element of that to it because it's like genetic variation. You got to get when groups. Fucking diverge and group off and go somewhere else separated by land, they develop this slightly different and I noticed that it gets more relaxed. Like, so from the UK you had groups that went to the USA and to Australia, and they've both got a relaxed form of the accent. British accent's tighter, but those countries, they have more of a drawl. It's obvious, really, but
yeah. Well, just like it's interesting. I haven't been to England much, but the difference between like the southern and the northern, and like I can understand the more northern accents a lot easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not the way it's meant to work.
I was in London and around there, and I'd be like, I spent like a week in Birmingham. I was there for a tournament, and it was like, I did occasionally have issues with understanding them, and it's like, but I was there for a Taekwondo competition. Some of the teams from further north were there, and I could talk to them. And,
That's interesting. That's interesting because I thought you were talking about more about, if you say southern to me, I think about the Cockney accent, which is quite clear, or the Queen, RP, which is intended to be very clear, which I'm sure you can understand probably really well, actually. But yeah, those Birmingham's pretty bad.
Yeah, but in general, I just I haven't like written it down or anything, but my generally the more northern accents I have a little easier time with.
I don't mean bad as in it's like they're evil. I just mean like it's different.
Yeah. It's interesting. But then like over here, like where I live versus like New York City or something, like I have a hard time, like a strong like northeastern accent up there.